So I don't know if you guys know who the Liver King is from the old TikTok. Well, I guess that's where I've seen him on TikTok. He's a pretty popular social media, whatever, fitness guy. Here's the thing. Apparently people, the biggest scam of the year, guys. Nobody could have seen it coming. Apparently he's on gear. He takes a little bit of vitamin T, if you know what I'm saying. He's trending clen. Wait, what is it? Eat clen and trend hard. That's what it is. Nobody could have saw it coming. It's actually interesting that people are so like going so crazy about it. Because it's so obvious. I mean, if you look at the guy, it's obvious. What's interesting though is that he claims he's natural, which is a pretty typical thing in the bodybuilding community to like sell whatever nutritional BS that you're trying to push onto people that like don't realize it. But I wanted to start off because I was like, did he explicitly say that he was natty and then people are catching him, or did he just kind of never say anything? So I found this clip and we're gonna watch it.
Have legs.
Do you see how little?
Let me restart this.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids.
Is Liver King natty?
Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these appendages down here, these legs?
Have legs.
Do you see how little my fucking legs are? So this is what I say to people that make this accusation. If you
Does he not train legs? Oh, that's why, guys. He doesn't have to worry about the overall body recovery of his legs, so he can just train huge chest.
don't believe this is possible, then I suggest that you take that self-limiting belief, you put that shit in a fucking box, and you bury that next to all your embarrassing shit, and don't open your fucking mouth about it. Let that live with you. There's a lot of subprimals.
Yeah, so he's pretty explicit about how he's all natty. His legs are really small, though. He does not train legs at all, it looks like. I guess he just doesn't really like it. I don't know. Whatever. That doesn't matter. So now let's get into this video here. Here's the thing, though, really quick. Okay, so, you know, I used to lift more. I used to be a little bit more part of gym culture. I know I'm like a big fat chunker now, but I did. And I used to be like really into strongman. I used to like that a lot. The reason I'm saying this is like in the bodybuilding community, it's just kind of normal, or like the fitness community, it's normal to lie about your steroid usage and say like you're not on it for attention. You know, of course not Mike O'Hearn. He's all natty, but it's a very popular thing. And so most people kind of know it, but there are still people who are unsuspecting and they will look at somebody like Liver King and go, oh, he's natty, I can do that. And the way that they get there is they'll be like, well, you can only do it if you take my supplements, though. That's the whole mentality. Supplements are like, I would say 5 to 10%, you know, of the fitness journey overall. And it's really sad because it's almost like part of body positivity. It's like, you tell somebody that you can reach an attainable. The Liver King is an unattainable beauty standard, an unattainable fitness standard because he's on gear. And then he's like, but you can do it if you just buy $50 a month worth of supplements. And people start doing it because they want to be just like him. And then he throws the mentality of if you can't do it, it's your fault. The guy's on like fucking gear, bro. It is what it is. And honestly, if he was honest about it, or he didn't even say anything about being natty, I would respect that because I understand like you can't talk about being like on stuff for the most part. But some bodybuilders do. But you're setting people up to this unattainable beauty standard, and it's not just when it comes to supplements. It's workouts too. If you have somebody that's on gear promoting a particular workout, and I'm not just speaking specifically about Liver King, you can't recover from that workout. So you'll see people that are like, hey guys, here's my really cool new workout. And they'll give you like their chest routine, right? So this is their chest. And they'll like bench for like 4 sets. It's like 8 to 12, right? And then they'll do incline for the same amount, right? They'll do that. And then they'll do like, like dumbbell, they'll do like decline, and they'll do flies, and then they'll do some tricep work, blah, blah, blah. And they do all this stuff that for somebody who's natural, they may not be able to actually recover from that, and then like they just get destroyed by this routine that's just unusable. So what's wrong with my suggested videos? Okay, it's one and only, and it's Foo Fighters. Okay, it's music. I'll restart so we have none of these, so you guys aren't distracted. How's that? Look at that. Oh, now a bunch of reactions. Here's PewDiePie. Does that make you feel better?
Some very interesting news came to light that involves a very popular fitness influencer whom I'm sure you've all seen at some point, the Liver King. He's most known for his videos eating raw meat, raw organs, raw testicles.
Well, now I'm thinking that maybe he doesn't just eat those things now. Now I'm thinking maybe he doesn't eat those things exclusively.
Even, which goes so hard. And he preaches the ancestral primal way of living.
Nice.
And says that you can achieve his ungodly physique, and his body does look
with
like something straight out of Dragon Ball Z or Baki the Grappler. He says you can achieve that
grappler. I've only heard Baki, not the grappler part.
100% naturally by following his 9 tenets. And he is also a very successful businessman. He has tons of companies under his belt that he claims makes him over $100 million a year.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but...
And just a couple days ago, much like my ass after eating spicy food, a big leak happened. Emails between the Liver King and a coach that he was turning to for some advice have now hit the public eye, and these emails indicate so...
I will live in the Republic of Texas, Houston. So, okay. So it's from the Liver King, supposedly. What's a good day and time for you to have our consultation? I live in the Republic of Texas, Houston. What is the Republic of What is the Republic of Texas? I've never heard that before. Like, is that a saying that I'm just like not familiar with? Was a sovereign state in North America that existed. Oh, is he saying that he lives in a... Is he saying... I think I'm overthinking this one. Okay. I'm 12 hours behind you. This is an absolute priority for me, so I will cancel almost anything planned to make this happen with you. My preferred times are 7, 8, or 9 a.m. on Wednesday CST, but could easily do 6 or 7 p.m. from any evening in your time. I believe that's 7 p.m., blah, 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 almost any morning of the week. Please check my math on that since the outside regular hours. I'm happy to compensate you for the trouble. So let's dig in. As it relates to my goals, I'm the face of several brands, including ancestral supplements, and I've hired a team to build the Liver King brand with the goal of 1 MM followers by March 2022. I'm pouring ridiculous resources. Isn't it? That already passed, whatever. Pouring ridiculous resources into making this happen, including hosting a video guy that will be living at my guest house and filming crew that will be filming 7 days a month. Stated I have to stay in great fucking shape year round. Maybe take 1 to 2 months off. Here's a clip where I'm currently at. I've been working out for 35 years. I know how to eat, train, rest, and recover. I have a hard shell hyperbolic chamber at my house, but as I've reached my mid-40s, I'm getting harder. It's getting harder, and the back fat fucking kills me. To support my exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope, the 5 vials from the Empower Pharmacy, $11K US per month for my new dose, which is... Wait, what? Is that all gear he's talking about? My doctor told me that I could double it in an effort to get to the uppers. So I think, wow. Okay, it looks like he's talking about that. He's definitely on more than that. I'll tell you that. Okay.
Some juice usage here, and some pretty expensive juicing at...
Yeah, $11K a month. Hey, guys, that's attainable for all of us.
That, which completely goes against everything he preaches because he vehemently defends his body being...
What the fuck, Charlie?
Completely goes against everything he preaches because he vehemently defends...
Vehemently? Come on, Charlie! I mess words up all the time. I called it Ye West Ye before. But vehemently. Imagine I got that wrong. That'd be funny.
His body being natural. He has said millions of times now across tons of podcasts, his own content, saying he has never touched this stuff and never would. He is 100% natural. But now we have a lot of evidence to suggest that that's completely false and just...
First of all, you just look at his stomach. He has a GH gut. Let's be real.
A blatant lie. Now, this is probably the least shocking news you've ever heard because anyone with eyes should be able to look at the Liver King's body and immediately deduce that this is...
that's just a GH gut. And you want to know what? Here's the thing. It's still impressive. He still has an impressive physique, even if he's on gear. Like, that's the thing. It doesn't take away all your hard work. It does make things easier, but it doesn't take everything away. But the fact that he could have just been like, I'm not going to answer that question, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I would still respect it. But like he's telling people he's explicitly not on it.
Not a naturally achievable physique in any universe. And especially not for someone of his age, mid-40s. He'd have to have had genetics gifted straight from Mount Olympus. And most fitness professionals have called him out over the years saying that he's juiced to the gills. And I mean, just look at him. Like, I could swim in his veins. They're so fucking huge. Like, this man has more sauce in his body than a Chick-fil-A. Even when he's sitting down, just...
That might be a good dinner tonight.
Look at his abs. His six-pack is more defined than 4K television. And they have more depth than a Game of Thrones season. It's beyond me.
Yeah, unfortunate, man. Game of Thrones really got fucked.
How anyone ever believed that his body was naturally achieved. It's been very clear and it's been called out many times that he is absolutely on the gear.
Absolutely. The problem is that like young people are probably buying all this shit because they don't get it. They just don't get it.
But a lot of people just wanted to believe in the teachings and hope that they could get something similar. But realistically,
like,
the only
they'll just like write it off as like, oh, you're just a hater, you're just a hater, you're just a hater kind of bullshit, you know?
You get a body similar to Liver King's is if you somehow get chosen for the Captain America Super Serum or start cycling some very heavy-duty stuff here. Now, what you're looking at here is everything that Liver King said he'd been taking. This is part of the emails with the coach.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Why did he give all this information up right off the bat? Like, you think that he would have waited a little bit. But okay.
If you want a more in-depth breakdown of what all of this is, More Plates, More Dates, which is the channel that broke all of this, goes into very good detail about what all of this is. So you can see there is a lot that he's taking here, and from what I've read, this comes around to about $15,000 a month worth of these enhanced.
$15,000 a month? Wow, More Plates, More Dates goes into it for like an hour.
Leak demon.
This guy is great. That's crazy.
On the boats are coming.
Oh, he's got this whole thing.
And a lot of which are part of the 9 ancestral tenets, but
Guy.
Wow, that's an in-depth one. Maybe I'll watch that, but at some point.
Enhancements, these unnatural enhancements to get him his body. And I want to be clear here, I'm not just vilifying anyone who uses steroids or anything to help them achieve their
as long as you're
fitness
honest about
goals.
it.
I think that's totally within their own right as a personal choice that they make. Yes, of course, it's dangerous, but it's their choice. And who am I to stop them from doing that? If they get medical supervision, of course, that's going to help.
Yeah, and as long as you're honest about it, because the problem is, it's like he's grifting for... Bro, I'm looking at the guy's website right now. He has like a workout. Like, okay, it's not just the... Okay, so he sells... First of all, the workout's bad too, because like there's no way a natty person will probably be able to handle whatever workout that he's getting people. Lower body strength training on Monday. I mean, maybe this isn't that bad. 8 sets of 3. Oh, that's like, wait, what 8 sets of 3? Or is he talking about 3 sets of 8? Anyway, like it's difficult to recover from like a lot of these things when you're not on a ton of fucking gear. I'm trying to see like what's the, look at this stuff. Oh my God. How long does this last you? $156 for a king stack, a queen stack. There's only 3 reviews. Wow. Is this everything you're supposed to get? Imagine spending like $156 like a month or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, dude. That's nuts. Subscribe for 10% off. Wow. How many servings are there? I don't even know. It's just crazy, dude.
The problem that I have here, as well as many other people, is that he's selling a lie. He's blatantly lying, saying that what I have achieved is naturally achievable if you just follow my 9 ancestral tenets, none of which contributed to the HGH that he was boofing up his fucking asshole here to get him these incredible results. Like, none of that is what he is selling. He's not selling any of these steroids. He's selling hopium.
If you want to be a top king, if you want unlimited access to cars, money, and if you want to find your queen, then you have to fuel your efforts with
Bro, it reminds me of fucking like Andrew Tate manosphere shit. It's crazy.
ancestral supplements, liver, beef organs, and bone marrow with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because liver is king. And you already know, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, always gonna have a whole feast protein shake.
This is a clip from More Plates, More Dates, who made an amazing breakdown on this entire situation that I highly recommend. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. But I wanted to show you one of his advertisements for some of his brands here. And I just feel like this is super scummy because he's making it sound like these supplements, you know, are really helpful to getting you jacked like me, the Liver King, whose nipples could probably shoot milk fucking 50 yards away.
I think it's kind of gay that I'm using a straw. I feel like less of a man. Gotta be a real man.
With how big my pecs are. Like, he's making it seem like he got huge from these things, and now he's revealing these secrets and selling them to you so you can get big and strong like him. But that's not really the whole story, clearly. It seems like he had a lot of help from an old human growth hormone over here. It's not really the supplements he's selling that work for him, it's the goddamn HGH and everything else that he was taking. So it just seems like he's selling all of these dietary supplements knowing full well they're not exactly necessary, and it seems like it's done just to squeeze a couple extra dollars out of his audience here.
Honestly, you could probably do really well just getting some shit. Like, the supplements are like, honestly, they're like, I don't know, 80% of the work is going to be putting in the work. And then like that 20% is like all the micromanagement. All like the little stuff, of course, you know, eating and sleeping correctly is a lot of big deal and stuff. But like these supplements specifically are probably like the smallest thing you need. You could literally get away with just getting a fucking one a day vitamin at the fucking at the grocery store, bro. It's crazy.
But I don't think everything he's done or said is harmful. Of course, all of the raw meat eating shit is pretty dangerous. Like, that's not optimal. That's not good advice to just go out there and eat fucking raw meat. Like, you should, especially not raw testicles.
Hey, you know what I like? Raw men.
I don't think anyone should be listening to the Liver King and start panicking like, holy shit, I want to get huge biceps and a fucking bulging turtle shell six-pack. I'm going to go run outside right now and skin a squirrel and eat the balls off of it raw. Like, none of that...
I saw Daryl from Walking Dead eat a squirrel, so I think it's okay.
I think is good advice, of course, and of course, none of his, like, primal stuff really matters. Like, your mindset of being a primal man's not going to all of a sudden make you jacked or anything. But he does give just, like, wholesome life advice, which I suppose could be motivational or inspirational to some people that need to hear those things about like having a more positive frame of mind and a positive approach to living life and making time for yourself and having fun.
Well, yeah, macros are obviously very important. What I'm talking about more is like you don't need supplements to the degree. Like you don't need $150 worth of protein and supplements. You can just eat real food and you can get like a pretty decent supplement from like a fucking vitamin shop or from a fucking grocery store.
Which is all very cliche and not exactly profound stuff, but he does sprinkle those things in, which is just generally decent advice, like making sure you're taking care of your mentality first and foremost, and not just for gains, but for the sake of just better overall living. Like all of that advice, I think, is fine. It's more so when he gets into this stuff where he's, of course, blatantly hiding that he does have a past of using steroids and is very much still on those unnatural boosters and pretending he's not. All of that is a big problem, and all of the stuff he seems to be selling, of course, isn't necessary, and it's not like the key to getting big in the first place. Maybe it helps some people, but it's not exactly as he's advertising it. Now, when it's all said and done, I'm sure there's a lot of people in his audience, a lot of his fans that probably don't care and probably always knew that he was on gear, and they'll probably...
Yeah, there's a good amount, sure. And some people are just like, I like this guy, but I just... There's... How many people aren't that way? You know what I mean? How many people don't know? It's a problem.
Still follow the ancestral way of living he preaches because maybe they like it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the ancestral shit he talked about, like sleeping on a goddamn block of wood or being afraid of Wi-Fi signals in the house and shit.
Hey, you never know. Because think about this. Radio signals, Wi-Fi. Where the fuck's it going? Where are the radio signals going? Where's it going? It's always here. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. My phone's got water on it. I got my phone. My router's in front of me. My phone's behind me. Wi-Fi's going through my head right now. It's fucking crazy, dude. I'm afraid of 5G because you never know, bro. Come on. I'm not really afraid, but I wonder what the fuck's going on. You know? One time, I guessed what was on the radio before I turned it on. I'm like, radio signals are going to my brain. It's true. The radio signals are going to my fucking brain, bro.
Like that. I think that's all just super silly stuff. He became huge in the first place because of his over-the-top raw meat eating and his wild physique. People wanted to look like him because he looks like an absolutely jacked Radagast the Brown from Lord of the Rings. So people bought into his program under the assumption that if they follow the ancestral tenets, maybe buy from his other companies that all filter from the Liver King overall brand, maybe they too could look like him. But now that this information has come to light, it's clear that what he has achieved with his own body is only replicatable if you also start cycling that kind of juice.
Of course.
Not from following his program or taking his bone marrow supplements. Now, he has had somewhat of a response to this information coming out. But it's a pretty confusing one. According to the Daily Beast, his response was, in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. He then followed it up by humbly requesting that podcasts have him on to discuss his lifestyle, and then says, I model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. So
I don't know what he's saying there because like this is something that's very normal in the fitness industry to take gear and lie about it, unfortunately. And I'm assuming that's what he means by I'm grateful for the recent events because then he could talk this complicated. In a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events and that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I'm imagining that he's like now he feels like since it's already coming forward, he can finally come forward with it. But still, man, like you could have built your brand without lying to people about being on gear. When they said like, "Are you on gear?" Say, "I don't want to talk about that." That's it. Just say that. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to suffer so we can collectively express anything our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. So really. Does
what else he said?
doesn't say much of anything. Just drops a fucking nothing burger on the plate, and that meat is raw. Like
like he can admit it now. Yeah. That's what it seems like, kind of.
There's nothing here. He doesn't really give any information. It seems like he once again wants to squeeze clout out of this situation by.
I mean, that's possible too. He might be like, "Oh, eyes are on me again. I can get more shit out and I can deny it."
Asking to go on podcasts. Which he's made a habit out of. He's been on more podcasts than anyone I've ever seen in my fucking life. Any podcast you can think of off the top of your head, like maybe your local college campus podcast, he's probably been on it. Like he's been on everything because he openly says, anytime people are talking about me, it's a good thing. Whether it's negative or positive, like there was a whole conspiracy about him potentially having ab implants. He says, you know what, that's great too, if people are talking about me. So he wants as much attention as possible, always has, and even in this situation here, is looking to capitalize off it for the sake of publicity. So I guess maybe when he does...
Yeah, Noel Diesel is probably one of the best fitness influencers because he gives out decent advice and he's always been open about it. Yeah, true. I respect that.
Next podcast will have more information.
And he's gay, so...
information on his side of things, but
Based.
as of right now, we don't have a whole lot from him to go off of. But we do have a lot of evidence that I do think is reputable. I don't see a lot of wiggle room for that being fake. I trust the source. I think More Plates, More Dates is very reliable when it comes to information like this, and he delivers a very in-depth look at all of it. Again, I can't recommend his video enough if you're interested in this topic. So yeah, I just wanted to go over this because I've talked about Liver King quite a bit. And I will say, while More Plates, More Dates has convinced me Liver King doesn't have ab implants, I full-heartedly believe he has had ab etching. At the very least, ab etching done. It makes no fucking sense to me how he's able to have such a defined six-pack bulging, bursting from his skin, even while sitting down.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. HGH, bro. That shit, I think it makes your organs bigger and it pushes up against your like abs and shit and it makes your fucking stomach look like a fucking turtle shell.
That doesn't make sense. It looks like the top of a fucking grill at all times. It looks like it's made out of actual steel. Like, there's just no way. And of course, now it seems like he's been on quite a bit of juice for a while now, but even with that, there's still just no way those abs would work that way. It just makes no sense. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this topic a little bit, and that's about it. See ya.
Okay, there we go. Pretty good.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.